Jai Shri Ram. Farrago, I think this is the fifth track. While thematic construction and dense intellectual interpolations characterize modern art, many still find refuge in the dash of primitive works, in some cases tracing this interest all the way back to prehistoric cave paintings. So, if you look at this sentence, we have a few words here. In the first line, thematic. One word synonym for thematic would be schema. Schema. Schema means the way you look at the world, a framework through which you watch or see life as it is. Another important synonym is Weltanschauung. Weltenschauung. Weltanschauung. It's a German root. It's a German word actually, which means the world view or your philosophy of life. Zeitgeist is another word. Please make a note. These are odd sounding words but important for GRE because they are pretty popular. Zeitgeist, Zeitgeist. Zeitgeist means the general attitude of the people, the spirit of the times, the way people think in these times. In those times, that means earlier times, people had a different way of, looking at life, the philosophy, the spirit of the times. I'm repeating that. Spirit of the times, the general attitude of the people. There is a documentary movie. There are two parts actually, Zeitgeist and Zeitgeist Addendum. Addendum, Addendum. Addendum means something added. You must watch both these movies. These are wonderful. These movies cover all those phenomena that ultimately led to a change, several changes in the world and the attitude of the people. So thematic construction and the dense intellectual interpolation. Dense means very difficult to understand, very complex. Of course, gas, dense means very a lot of gas is there. Particles are very thickly distributed. So dense can also mean stupid actually. Interpolation means something that is a foreign material introduced into a book. That means interpolations in Mahabharata means మహాభారతంలో ఒరిజినల్గా లేదు కానీ ఎవరో అందులో దూర్చి పెట్టేశారు. రైట్, సో ఇలా ఇంటర్పోలేషన్స్. రామాయణంలో కూడా ఇంటర్పోలేషన్స్ అంటే వాల్మీకి రామాయణంలో లేదు, సంబడి హ్యాస్ రిటన్ ఇట్ సమ్వేర్ అండ్ పీపుల్ బిలీవ్ దట్ దిస్ మైట్ బి ద కేస్. సో దట్స్ కాల్డ్ ఇంటర్పోలేషన్. ఇంటర్పోలేషన్కి ఎక్స్ట్రాపోలేషన్ ఇస్ నాట్ అన్ ఆపోజిట్. ఎక్స్ట్రాపోలేట్ అంటే గెస్. ఎక్స్ట్రాపోలేట్ మీన్స్ ట్రెండ్ ప్రొజెక్షన్ ఇన్ స్టాటిస్టిక్స్. Extrapolate basically means trend projection, and in general English would mean guesswork, approximation, surmise, conjecture, hazard. To hazard a guess is the expression. Hazard means risk, hazard means guess. So hazard a guess is the weird English expression, right? Second guessing is another word. Second guess means to guess. Second guess also means to criticize after the results are known. When something goes bad, people criticize. That's called second guessing. And then they would say, you should have done it this way and that. Right. Many still find refuge. Refuge and a safe place. Refuge means sanctuary. Santuary. Asylum. Abode. Abode means a place of stay. Refuge means sanctuary, means safe place. Haven. Haven. A haven for terrorists. Kashmir used to be a haven for terrorists. Haven means safe place. So, while thematic construction and dense intellectual interpolations characterize modern art, many still find refuge in the dash of primitive works, in some cases tracing this interest all the way back to prehistoric cave paintings. So, just take a look, and any words that which are new. Impervious means not allowing anything to pass through. Impervious also means heedless, మాట వినకపోవడం. Heed means వినడము, మంచి మాట వినడం. Heed means to follow good advice. Heedless means careless. Impervious, he is impervious to good advice అంటే మాట వినడు. Impervious literal meaning is a membrane which will not allow passage, impermeable. Effervescence, literal meaning is nuraga, froth. Effervescence also means bubbly, energetic. Now pause a second and think which one would fit. The answer obviously has to be innocence, because while indicates a contrast. While modern art is very dense, now, like I already told you, dense means many things. Dense means very difficult to understand, a dense novel, difficult to understand because of the complexity or obscurity. So dense can also mean, like I said, stupid, thick-headed, slow to apprehend, obtuse, OBTUSA. Dense gas means high density. Dense population means crowded closely together, very compact. So here the answer is innocence. So while modern art is very complex and difficult to understand, many find refuge in the innocence of primitive works. Okay, next one. Fungible, exchangeable, interchangeable. D, subjective, ante based on feeling. Subjective means based on feeling. Interviews are mostly subjective. In an interview, I can ask you some technical questions, and for that is objective. Objective means fact based. Subjective means feeling or intuition. Intuition means a deep inner feeling which cannot be logically explained. Intuition is also called sixth sense, hunch, gut feeling, psi, psi, psi. Psi is that Trishulam, 23rd letter of the Greek alphabet. A small Trishulam is there. So psi, ESP, extrasensory perception, instinct. My instinct says that something is not right. Now the word instinct means intuition. Intuition ante sixth sense. Sometimes people have this kannu reparapaladutondi edam kannu. That means some bad omen. They can't exactly say what, but then they feel that something's going wrong. So that's all called intuition. Intuition means a deep feeling which cannot be explained logically. So the opposite of intuition is rationalization, ratiocination. Ratiocination means logical reasoning. Rationalize basically is a negative word. Rationalize basically means samardhinchukodam. Do something wrong, something bad, immoral, and then try to justify it. Provide some reasoning for something that is not reasonable. So rational, ratiocination, ratiocinative, rationality, rationale. What is the rationale? That means what is the reasoning? RATIONALE. Rationale. What is the rationale behind this action? ఈ పని ఎందుకు చేస్తుంటారు? What కారణాలు ఏంటి? So rationale, NALE, all these are positive words except that word rationalize, which is an extension of rational, but it's a negative word. Anyway, subjective means feeling, objective means fact. Figurative ante metaphorical, something that is representational, symbolic. Trope, TROPE. Trope means metaphor. Metaphor for India, Bharat Mata. Metaphor for America, Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam. It's an old man with a big flowing beard and a top hat and American flag colors pointing a finger at you. He made his words as dash and neutral as humanly possible, but he knew in the back of his mind that human nature would cause his audience to only take away from his speech what they wanted to hear. Right? So he made his words as objective as possible. But then people are subjective. So that's objective means fact. Now the next one. This is an RC passage, right? Let's see. I hope you read it first, then I'll see. And I'll also have to read it, okay? Take a pause now. Mankind are always happier for having been happy. Okay. So that if you make them happy now, you make them happy 20 years hence by the memory of it. A childhood passed with a due mixture of rational indulgence. Indulgence ante pampering. Indulgent parent means parents who pamper the child. Molly Coddle, Cosset, MOLLYCODDLE. Showering too much love and affection. Ati muddu garabam అడిగినవన్నీ ఇస్తే పిల్లలు చెడిపోతారు. So Gandhiji said, spare the rod, spoil the child. Spare the rod, spoil the child. Meaning that you must beat the kids, beat children, spank them. But of course, that's not a good thing to do. No psychologist would agree. You should, as a parent, exercise control and discipline, but then that should not involve physical thrashing. Interestingly, in Singapore, corporal punishment is a duty imposed by their government on parents and teachers. Corporal punishment ante physical ga kottadam, thrashing. Bamboo reed, REED, reed ante రువ్వ, బ్యాంబూ స్టిక్ సన్నగా ఉంటుంది. సో కార్పోరల్ పనిష్మెంట్ సింగపూర్లో చేస్తారు. స్కూళ్ళల్లో పేరెంట్స్ లేక ఇంట్లలో పేరెంట్స్ అండ్ స్కూల్లో టీచర్స్ ఆర్ ఫుల్లీ ఎంటైటిల్డ్. In America, if you touch a child, they will file a case. Even today in India, no parent will tolerate his child being beaten up or thrashed by the school teacher. But in Singapore, corporal punishment is administered regularly in school. And not only that, if you jaywalk, Jaywalk, jaywalk and road means nadavadam. The road is for vehicles. If people walk on the road, the word is jaywalk. So you should walk on the footpath. Of course, we can't, because all the footpath or sidewalks are all fully filled up with hawkers and all kinds of things. That's why we have no option, but we walk on the road. Jaywalking cheste, jaywalk means walk on the road. In Singapore, they will administer corporal punishment. The cops will take the person away to a police station somewhere, tie him up to a triangular stand, put a pillow on his back, low back, to prevent damage to kidney. They will lower the pant and thrash the fellow. So corporal punishment. So, due mixture of rational indulgence, rational means logical, indulgence means pampering, and under fond and wise parents, diffuse and spread over the whole of life, a feeling of calm pleasure. And in extreme old age is the very last remembrance which time can erase from the mind of man. Okay. So, no enjoyment, however inconsiderable, is confined to the present moment. A man is the happier for life for having made once an agreeable tour, or lived for any length of time with pleasant people, or enjoyed any considerable interval of innocent pleasure, and it is most probably the recollection of their past pleasures which contributes to render ante cause to become. A renders be useless ante A వలన B useless అయిపోతుంది. Render means to cause to become. Render also means do an artistical performance. I will render a song, that means I'll sing a song. I'll render a dance, I will render a poem, that means I'll read one. Noun form is rendition. So contributes to render old men so inattentive to the scenes before them, right? So and carries them back to a world that is past and to scenes never to be renewed again. Select only one answer choice. Which of the following statement most directly contrasts with the concept proclaimed in the passage above? The answer has to be E. E, a trip to Disneyland for all my family would be a waste of money. No, if a trip to Disneyland, once you enjoy at Disneyland, then you will talk about it throughout your life. That's the whole concept here. Everything else fits into the concept, right? All the other ABCD. Next one. This is sentence equivalence, so you got to pick one word. Vapid means tasteless. Insipid and vapid are synonyms. That should be the answer. Sectarian means narrow-minded. Sect means a denomination, as religious subgroup. In Christianity, there are 40,000 sects, in fact, more than that. In Islam, there are 73 sects. And there is continuous warring among all these sects in Christianity and Islam. Whereas in Hinduism, we have sects, but we don't kill each other. Right? Sectarian means very narrow. So non-sectarian, Bhagavad Gita is non-sectarian. That means very general, broad-minded. Pretentious means taking too much for granted, arrogant. So let's see. I've been watching this conversation grow more and more, and it disappoints me that such otherwise learned and productive people can sit around for an entire afternoon and waste so much time. Obviously, the answer is vapid and insipid. That's it, Jai Shri Ram. We stop here.